So what's going on, guys? It's Miles back with another video. So today I have a sad tale on how these single mothers, these single women that wanted to be strong and independent, they're suffering the consequences for it. And this is actually kind of sad, but you know, they made their bed, now they have to lay in it, unfortunately. So I keep hearing these stories of women in their older years, 40, 50s and up, where they fall on, their health fails in some way, and they have no family support. They have very support, period, from anybody. And, you know, this just speaks to one of the many failures of feminism that women don't want to admit. And, you know, Kevin Samuels, he talks about, you know, you're gonna, you know, pass away alone. Well, the truth of the matter is, guys, they're already passing away alone, if we're being honest. And it's sad, but that's the reality. And it just speaks to the ego of women, of how they know they're heading in the wrong direction, but they'll still double down and stick with it, even though it's not working. Even though they'll, you know, some of these women, they'll recover from their health without having any emotional support, but they still won't go get a relationship. They still won't straighten up and get healthy. It's crazy to me. And dudes go through this as well, but you know, we're talking about women. So the problems. See, one of the many problems that women suffer with, there's many problems today. Today's women is miscalibrated at every level. You know, I was just thinking about all the different qualities and metrics that need to be met for a long-term relationship and a marriage, and it's just shrinking daily. Anyways, if we're being honest, most women have an unhealthy lifestyle. What do you mean, Miles, have an unhealthy lifestyle? Well, in college, not only are they being promiscuous, but they're drinking too much. They're getting Quaaludes and stuff put in their drinks to get their drinks spiked. They're doing all kinds of drugs. They're smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, eating edibles and all kind of crazy crap. And so what happens is, after they come out of college, because some of these women will do these things and they'll still look fine, right? It's just they were blessed with good genetics. But by the time they get 27, 28, that lifestyle ages them. It begins to show. They look older. They're overweight because not only are they doing all those things, but they're not exercising. They're over consuming food. So they look older and old, and they're overweight. This is the common thing with dating apps. When you look at these women, you know, they show you their 18, 19, 20-year-old self, their pictures. That's why when you see them out in public, they look way overweight. They put on about 10, 20 pounds. So these women have unhealthy lifestyles that are unsustainable, which is why they're having health issues in their 40s and 50s. You know, some health issues, depending on what kind of traits, genetic traits you have, it's just in your family, right? But all of these things wouldn't be an issue if feminism wouldn't have miscalibrated them and taught them the wrong things. Meaning what? I'm independent. I don't need a man. No, you actually do need a man. See, a man isn't just a bill that, you know, most women think about. You know, most women today, they objectify men when it comes to financially. If you can't provide anything, you're not even a human being. You know, they say we objectify women, but really in reality, women objectify men just as much. Having this super gold digger mindset where if you have to provide and do all kinds of stuff, just to even get my attention, to even go on a date, to even look at me. It's quite pitiful. So, you know, these women, they have these unrealistic expectations, which leads them to be single, and they double down on being single and not settling. And then when disaster strikes, they have no one to look out for them. See, a man isn't just a wallet. He's a protector. He's security. He's emotional support. You know, your girlfriend can't, most of the time when these women go out to eat and all these different kinds of things, you know, their girlfriends can't even pay for their bills all the time. So they have to share the bill oftentimes. So, you know, when you get a medical bill, they're not going to share it with you. And, you know, women are quite fickle with each other, not just with men. They're quite fickle with each other. So they're unreliable towards each other. So if they had a man, if they had some children, some sons and some daughters that they raised correctly in a family household, and they didn't have them so late in the game, because some of these women be 40, 50 and their kids are like just now turning 15. What the hell? Anyways, so when these women, they fall on hard times and their health fails, they have no one to look out for them, to care for them. And so either they go through these health issues and problems alone, seeking where they falter. And it's in that moment that they realize, damn, I should have gotten a family. Damn, I should have gotten into a relationship with the guy, because at least a guy would at least been here and, you know, looked out for me. He would have spoken to the doctor for me and got my proper medication and made sure I took it, and I'd be taken care of, not just in a financial sense, but in a physical sense. I feel cared for physically, emotionally. And so feminism has failed them at every way, and they don't realize it until it's too late. They don't realize it until after they've had a child and they're a single mother. They don't realize it until their health fails. They don't realize it until they're in debt. They don't realize it until they're 40 years old and they're trying to have a kid now. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then, you know, the more I think about it, women need leadership from men. And sometimes as a man, you have to force them to do the right thing, because sometimes they won't do it. You know, women, it's unfortunate, but women oftentimes have a child mindset. They're overly emotional. They're quick to blame and not take accountability, just what children do. Overly emotional. And so you kind of have to treat them like children. Force them to do what's right. Even when they don't see what's right for themselves. Because the goofy thing is about women is they'll go through all these goofy situations that they've created. And then at the end of it, they'll say, well, why didn't you stop me? You can't win with women. So I'd rather be the aggressor. I'd rather be the one that says, hey, I'm the tyrant. You're going to do exactly what I say, because it's in the best interest of you and me, than to her say that idiotic statement and you to sit there and wonder like, damn. But anyways, it's another sad tale of feminism. And, you know, depending on who it is, some of you guys might be like, yes, these women are learning their lessons. But in reality, it's really a sickening way and an extremely sad, sadistic way to pass away from this earth. When we pass away, we want to have family, the people that truly care about us, close by us, by our sides in our last moments. We want family. We want to, because at the end of the day, we do all these things, take care of ourselves, care for one another. At the end of it, it's all for family, community. And to not have that and to struggle and figure that out is devastating, I can imagine. But that's my video. You guys have a good day, good week, and I will see you guys on the next one, man. Peace.